call them the reserves?
I know, right? Hey, call me out of the bullpen, man. Let me see if I warm this thing up.
How you doing?
Hey,
Brian. Morning, man. See you.
Morning, Brian.
Nice to see you. Yes, sir. Good morning, Sasha. Brian, good morning. Nice to see you.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, I was so focused on you. All right, well, great luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey. So, who you got yourself?
Just the team. CrossFit Addict. So AJ, Hannah, Justin.
Now, Justin.
I don't know what you took away from the West, but something I took away from the West is that workout really comes down to the bike.
You got a couple athletes that can handle the bike, you can make a big impact.
Yeah, like Density got off to the bike way slower than everybody else, and they finished like 5th in the
Yeah, because Casey and Mark were just...
right.
The guys in Europe who won it, that BLST team from Oslo, they had one guy that did a total of 65 calories, and cumulatively, those 65 calories took him 75 seconds.
Oh my good.
35 and 35, and then 30 and 40.
That's
something
disgusting.
Like that. So that's, that is, I think,
it really, like,
if you have something
you can
like
lose it on the wall face.
No, he felt terrible the rest of the day.
I bet he did.
So what's the risk reward?
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. It'll be fun.
Have you come down from the high of Hattie?
I don't feel like I ever got to soak it in, because it was like,
just keep rolling.
Like 48 hours and back on a plane, right? I mean, I'm really, really, really proud of her.
You have to do it.
Do not forget.
He did it. Yes. Taylor. I love you.
He hasn't made the deadline.
I don't know what I did, but okay.
So,
He still hasn't technically made the deadline, so we'll see on that one. But you've seen or been a part of every regional, semifinal, etc.
It's true.
I think that this field, Team Women Indy, top to bottom, is the most talented or fittest grouping of athletes we've ever had at a qualified stage of the season.
I mean, I think you're probably right. Like, you mean specifically the East?
Specifically the East.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's deep here. There's no question.
That gets my blood going.
Dude, it's going to be great. I mean, just seeing the athlete brief yesterday, looking out into the bleachers, and you're like, oh, potential qualifier. That guy could be in. She's awesome this year. You know, like it's, yeah.
So we're on the same page.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's going to be, I don't know, man. Sunday's going to be a roller coaster. So, yeah, it'll be good.
Well done.
You guys enjoy it.
Hey, you know, this venue is not a new venue for a semifinal stage of competition. They've had 3 events here between 2021 and 2022, but this space between this VIP section and the floor is new for media this year. In the past, they had an elevated stage for the athletes to like run up to celebrate, and they could literally hug their friends and family coaches, which was nice. This area is really nice. Like, I wish more competitions would do this, because, you know, for coaches, you're out there in the back, and then you have to come out here to the floor, and to have a space that you know you can go and watch your athletes' teams is obviously amazing. But I think this is good. They still get an amazing view. The media is not blocking their view, and the media gets these front angle shots. We didn't have a front angle at West Coast. We had a limited one at French Throwdown. So I think that in terms of the media production this weekend, Syndicate Crown's setup is going to allow content creators, of which there's a ton of amazing guys and girls here, to get some good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I was here yesterday, and I saw this, and I saw that. 2 years ago, we did the broadcast from up there. It looks like they're planning to do
That's
that
what
again.
they're doing, which is like such a shame.
Why wouldn't they do it right there?
Yeah, that's what they
That's
were
the better
talking
view, and...
Well, I was like, especially with teams, like you can't really see what lane people are in with
they're
each
looking
angle.
They're either going to face this way or this way, and he's not going to be able to see the placards again.
Oh, I know. We called it from their looking at their butts last week.
I know that, but I'm saying, how could they not learn from that? We found one of the true super fans of CrossFit. Pretty fit in his own regard. We watch a lot of CrossFit content. What do you think? Well, what we're going to see this weekend?
I think this weekend we got to look through like 7 through 10, right? Because that's just going to keep changing all weekend. Obviously, I'm a little biased. I want to see Taylor Self do really well. I think workout 3 is going to be one for him, and then also maybe the row handstand walk would be one.
Yeah, I think he's got the potential for top 5 on both. You've seen 2 weeks of semifinals go by so far. This is obviously the last week. Overall impressions from a fan perspective?
I think the programming's been great. I think it looks like classic CrossFit. It reminds me of old regionals. And I didn't grow up in that old regional era, so I think I'm getting that now, right? right, I was going to sectionals, right, in the different, not sectionals. What was it?
Sanctionals.
Sanctionals.
Sectionals was before regionals.
All the programming was different. So I think that's been a big thing of like just classic CrossFit, seeing the workouts. And then there's been like clear groups dividing, right? There's the leaders that run away with it, and then just kind of the masses where people are fighting for spots all weekend.
How you doing, man?
Great to see you.
Yeah, you too. How are things?
Good.
Good.
Pardon?
Yeah, the handstand push-ups we broke like differently than the plan, and then as soon as that happens, you're like, fuck, we gotta do an extra set.
The number one thing I've heard from talking to teams over 3 weeks is we got to the handstand push-ups and they didn't feel like they felt it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The
Yeah.
intensity.
There's a slope coming off the wall too, right? Like there's a slope coming down this way, so like it feels different pressing for sure. And then like no one has those boards to practice with, so like you're just against a wall. It is like slightly different. Wyatt Taylor, yeah.
Okay, I think I'll be
He's
on.
looking for 350, so we'll see.
Are you guys eat 1, 2,
Or 2 in the middle.
Okay, I should be on the podcast actually for that.
Okay,
So
sick.
I'll keep my eyes peeled for
Yeah,
Wyatt.
he's a big lifter.
350
They're big guys, yeah. He said he's gonna start out at 335, so
Oh man,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be good
Thanks for
though.
the tip.
Yeah, of course. See you, buddy.
Great to see you guys.
Bye, John.
Thank you. Bye,
Great job.
This is week 3 of this lifting complex, and not only that, but this complex is not new, and I'm still seeing people that are just going too heavy. Every semifinal, people miss the jerk, miss the jerk, miss the jerk. I want to see someone just go 10 pounds lighter and log a good lift.
All right, we are back. I told you it's going to be a big day here at the Syndicate Crown. I called it flying it back when I first signed off, Brian. I mean, it doesn't have a name. You know we're not naming events, but who was out there doing it? This is the big fun.
My team is always on go. My team, they always defend. My team is always on go. They do whatever to win. We put in work. We put in work. My team is always on go. My team, they always defend. My team is always on go. They do whatever to win. We put in work. We put in work.
Community event outside here, all 3 days, different events every day, individual, teams of 3 I think, and then pairs on Sunday. I love that they're doing this for a couple reasons. One is, because of the venue here, the vendors are outside, and sometimes it can be challenging for vendors to have great weekends when everything's inside and they're outside. This forces people to come out here, not just for this, but for the food and everything that's around, so I think this should be a better experience for the vendors overall. Secondarily, this reminds me of, I was just talking with Will, of Granite Games when they were a semifinal, where they created a separate venue for community events that were nearby just to increase the things that are going on and the people that are on site. You know, in France they had a huge event, which that's just what they do, the French Throwdown. Nothing in West Coast, this is kind of in between, but I think this is a great effort. It seems like a great environment, so big win for Syndicate over here.
Are you gonna work out?
Oh, there might be a workout during the hour breaks. So I think I'm gonna do the live with EC and then force his ass to get out here and do some burpees.
I'm a huge fan. I'm by name. Okay. I love you.
He's a master.
I am a master now.
A master of his craft.
Aged up. That's
He is a champion. Champion of
technically
WTA Strong.
Waterproof. Yep, there you go.
Is that year 1 or 2 that they did it?
2 years.
Year 2. You
1
did it
and
both
2.
years? You won it both years?
Yeah.
2-time champion. And he's a regular in the team division at the MFC.
It's true.
He goes there to throw down for fun with his other friend, much smaller than him. Not very strong guy.
Don't put that on air.
No, they're savages, they're beasts, and they're one of the nicest guys I know. Always great to see you, Mike.
Brian, great to see you.
Dalton was the only one running with Brooke Wells in Heat 1.
Well, and then
Yeah,
last
none of the
weekend it
other
was
women,
Bloomer just doing the laps. Poor guy. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
at the end of the day, we're like, how many
That's
steps
okay,
did you
bro.
get in? Like 18.
Go, Erica. Go, Emma.
Tia looked like she had no intention of not being the first one back in the building. And I've seen that look at her before. and it's one of the few looks in CrossFit that it wasn't false advertising. They said every track is going to be different. We don't know what that's going to mean, but we know, I mean, and if you listen to Very Not Random podcast that Adrian Bosman did, he talks about this. He said, early on, I wanted to run. I wanted to run outside. The challenge of that is that we're working with 7 different events around the world. So we made sure that that would be possible. We're not going to release all the tracks and show all the, no, we don't need to do that. But like, to me, now I'm speaking as me, it's like, just have a little confidence in these guys sometimes. Pay attention to the things that they actually have said. Let's wait and see what it looks like before we start throwing down the gauntlet about the problems with it. This, I think, is the best track that I've seen for a runner. The one in Carson, like you said, is great. This one goes through Vendor Village or just loops around it, right behind it. The one in France literally went through it. You know, there's cool elements of all of them, especially Asia.
I know CrossFit always gets a lot of slack about their events and how they're set up. What do you think of like the sort of like the ring, the 4 rings, head-to-head sort of style?
That's a square, Chad.
I call it the ring attack.
I love it. I think it's like it elicits this gladiator mentality. Like if I'm competing in a lane, I see the people next to me. It's hard to see the outside lanes. Here, it doesn't matter who's close to me. I know if they're picking it up. I know if they're going touch and go. And so whatever I'm planning to do, I'm tempted by what they're doing to change my game plan. All the athletes I've talked to have said the same. I was skeptical when I first saw it, but after I saw it play out for one heat in Europe, I knew that this was a cool idea. Okay, so I mean, Tia, Haley, Emma Lawson, Danielle, Brandon, at the very least, are phenomenal runners. There's going to maybe be some others. Elena Savage just smashed that first run, but she was also one of the first ones out the door. But yeah, I mean, just with Tia and Haley alone, you have 2 of the greatest runners in the history of our sport. Add in a couple other ones, and yeah, I would say so. Tia is.
Yeah, I don't think she's being beat now.
That was a sub 4 minute round. I'm not gonna doubt her to be able to go sub 20 on this. I mean, Tia and Haley, we know. Like, we know. There's a group of women that are coming up, this pack of like 8 to 10 women here. This is what I want to see, because these are big points for those girls. They're all games athletes.
These 2 are great. Erica's. Nice job, ladies. Good job, Erica.
You see Erica keeping up with Emma on there. She's ahead of Danielle. She's ahead of Alexis Raptis. Like, that's a really good sign for Erica.
Let's go, Lex. Come on.
Paige Semenza, Caroline Prevost. This is a good run for her. Caroline Stanley, this is a good run for her. Yeah, that's a lot of experience, a lot of games experience right there.
If you love me, then why never let me go? I know, never let me go. If you love me, then why never let me go? I know, never let me go. If you love me, if you love me, if you love me, never let me go. If you love me, if you love me, I know, never let me go. If you love me, if you love me, if you love me, never let me go. If you love me, if you love me, I know, never let me go.
Caroline Stanley just finished up event number 1. I don't think a lot of people are probably betting on you for that. I was impressed. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, I knew most people they look at me and they're like, you're not a runner. But like, I knew that I was good at running. Like back home, I live like on a farm and everything. So at my gym, 400, 800, whatever it is up a big old hill. So I felt like that hill to me was an advantage. But I honestly feel comfortable running. And clean and jerks they were just irrelevant to me in that workout because I feel good about clean and jerks.
Yeah, and you made a move there in the last clean and jerks. Passed
I'm
at
not
least
sure
1 or 2 of the athletes ahead of you. I think you might have passed Danielle. But either way, you just looked great doing the workout. You know,
Thank you.
Obviously you're an experienced athlete. You know, you've been to the games. You look and you see left and right games athletes everywhere.
Right.
You know, how do you feel you stack up against this field?
I mean, I felt pumped up. I mean, I feel like I mean, I feel like I put in work and I belong here, so knowing that I'm right there and they're to my left and right, back, in front of me, like within seeable distance, I feel very like I put in the work, you know, I feel like I deserve to be here and everything. It wasn't just a flake last year making it to the games.
No, you're one of them.
Yeah.
You are one of those athletes, and I think that you sent that message in event one, so well done.
Thank you.
All right, see you tomorrow.
If you love me, then won't never let me go. I know, never let me go. If you love me, then won't never let me go. I know, never let me go. If you love me, if you love me, if you love me, never let me go. If you love me, if you love me, I know.
It's a miniature CrossFit Games, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
And you know, I think people who know you, they know that you've been working on your running for a couple of years. It's been a big priority. You're in a heat there with guys that they live to run almost. These are some of the best runners in our sport.
Sure.
How do you rationalize knowing that that's going to happen and staying in your game plan?
Man, I needed to get this one done, so I can think of the whole weekend. I put so many miles on my feet in the last, honestly, 3 years, but specifically since the games. We finally are seeing something click, so there's no better opportunity than to test it right there against some of the best runners in CrossFit at such a high level. And it was just making sure I was taking it as an opportunity and focusing so much on the event itself and my reps that everything else became irrelevant. The pain, where I was until it was that fourth run. Then I start seeing where I am, see if I can game some people and pick people off.
And you did exactly that. The last round and a half is where you started to kind of inch your way up that kind of leaderboard within that own event. With the way the barbells are like that, how conscious can you be of that compared to other events?
I did take a glance before we started, trying to figure out who was ahead of me, and just a quick photo in my head, just trying to remember where people were, and I had a pretty good idea, especially when you're coming in with groups of people. So it kind of splits that front group, and then I was in the second group, and you see where people drop off, and you're like, okay. Saxon, I was running with him, but he's a half a circle ahead of me, so it was he's irrelevant, he's gonna get to that bar, get 3 reps in. Benoit, I'm running with him for 3 runs, and he's 1 bar behind me. So, and I know I'm cycling the barbell faster than him. So the last run, I just sat on his back foot so there's no one else there, and then just pushed the bar as fast as I could.
Sometimes I think people take for granted what you guys did. You said that's a hard workout.
Absolutely.
It's only one today, but that makes it even harder. There's nothing to save it for. And yet in the midst of that, you're able to take in those details. How much of that is learned through competition?
It's practice, but I don't really want to share.
Fair enough. Well, you do it as good as almost anyone, especially for someone 22. Great start to the week, down.
Thank you. Heart's pumping.
Heart is pumping, man. How could it not be? I mean, we've been building up this semifinal, but on all 3 divisions, we've gotten what we came for so far. And you know, I don't know if they plan how they plan out who goes first between the men and the women, but that final men's heat was as good of an event heat that I've seen in a semifinal. I mean, I have flashbacks to, you know, from before I started CrossFit regionals, where there were guys all finishing within a few seconds of each other on much shorter workouts. And if that's just a teaser of what's to come, the hype was not for nothing. These guys and girls have brought it, and we're in for a treat this weekend. Inside, we talked to her, Caroline Stanley, a really good start to the weekend. I think she can be forgotten among some of the big names, but I think that was a big statement that she's going to be here all weekend long. On the men's side, I would say, you know, Hatfield faded a little bit, but he's putting his foot out there and saying, hey, I'm here to mess around with the big dogs. And, you know, Jack Farlow faded hard in that last heat, which was a little concerning because I thought with everything I heard that would be a good event for him to kind of assert himself as making a step forward. So be interested to see how he rebounds from that tomorrow.